Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. Let me introduce, in the top left of Gresvin, the blue Zerg player, in my not-so-humble opinion, the most entertaining player in the world. It's the final boss. It is Dark, but also well known for his creative strategies and charting his own course through the treacherous waters of the StarCraft 2 meta. I give you the last Mech Terran. It's GuMiho. A best of 3, and, well, looks like an SCV has already been lost as GuMiho lets a Zergling through the defenses. The Reaper comes back a little shamefully. And Dark is already off to an auspicious start. 1 SCV for 1 Zergling. They never only have 1. But I only ask for 1. 1 what? Well, 1 like. And maybe subscribe. Though hopefully you've already made it that far. Jimmy. Alright, 1,050. If we get 1,055 likes on this cast, on this video, I'll cast another series. And I'll probably do it anyways. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching StarCraft 2. And hopefully you're enjoying my commentary. And hopefully I can make your day a little bit better. This I've been looking forward to. Yeah, you can have the Cyril versus Beyond. You can have, well, Cyril versus anyone. It's Dark, okay? I was doing the big lead up into, well, Dark is different. Dark is special. Dark is the villain in this story, but the villain you root for. And I certainly am. Though GuMiho is also another, well, GuMiho is definitely the hero. The up-and-comer. The one you don't expect to get far, and then when he finally does, you cheer him on. And Dark is definitely a tough opponent. This is from ESL Summer. These two facing off. Either of them definitely contenders. But Roaches on the way for Dark. Safety Roaches for the most part. Now this strategy has become a lot more common. The placeholder Viking strategies, especially GuMiho's been enjoying them. Just pretty much whatever you could do that isn't actually a Viking to take out Overlord. Cyclone, Marine drop with Medivacs, that's most of it. But we gotta rep. Did he see anything? Dark is just going to blindside him. Well, what is it? Okay. Oh, there's a siege tank. Now this is part of the benefit of not investing so much in like a Viking or too many Hellions. A siege tank on the high ground is actually a huge part of potentially defending against this. And he killed the Overlord, which means no high ground vision for the Ravagers to be able to gun it down. And now, on the other side, the double drop. 5.5 minutes in. A very quick Stib Marine double drop here. The Queen's forced back into the base. Barely able to drive it away. And guess what? They can't easily come back down and around. They're gonna have a tough time. And the Ravagers, boys, already pulled. Dark has broken down the entire line of supply depots. How many depots? Rarely do... I'm asking, how many depots? 6 supply depots killed. So that is not nothing. Far from it. Pretty annoying to lose that many depots early. Definitely not... No! Oh, no! Nah! Come on! Dark once again. He just knows when you're looking and takes advantage when you don't. Well, I think... Okay, it's not gonna work again. Possibly permanently traumatized at this point is GuMiho. He catches you sleeping. The monster under your bed. The corrosive biles over your head. And now all your Marines inside that medevac are very, very dead. I think that medevac going down full of Marines tilted this in Dark's favor. It looked like GuMiho losing the depots and then doing the counter damage with the medevacs puts him on even footing. Maybe puts him a little ahead as 2 medevacs can exert a lot of pressure, a lot of map control. Makes it very difficult for the Zerg player to really have much on the other side of the map because you have it so anchored at home to deal with the medevacs. But between the infrastructure damage And the medevac going down. Dark now starting to expand on that supply lead. As 66 drones and counting. +1 is on the way now. +1 already done for GuMiho. Infantry weapons, of course. So, not too far behind in general upgrades. In fact, he's ahead by a bit here. The armory just now starting. More roaches on the way. Roach speed as well, going to complement them. And Dark has his 4th hatchery. Make that, well, this is the 4th. Yeah, he had no macro hatch yet. Don't need that much. Oh, a whole lot of Zerglings out on the field. He's got 56 Zerglings. Just kind of a crazy number. Especially considering he doesn't even have a baneling nest, but have the larva. Why not? GuMiho kind of wandering around with the medevac. Possibly a bit scared of corrosive bow, but knowing he has to put some pressure on the map. Doesn't... Okay. Dark doesn't think these are gonna hit. But he's keeping the fear in his heart, dragging GuMiho's attention back. And every split second he's not looking is a split second disaster could strike. Well, now we got some infestors on the way. 1-1 already completing for Dark. Hive has begun. 3-10 minutes. Quite quick. GuMiho, though, has his siege tank push together. He makes his way through the center of the map. Starts the 2-2. Handful of Marines darting in, trying to snipe off a few drones, but Dark has more than enough Zerglings. Medevac picks up the Marines, evacuates them. A single Zergling slips by into the 3rd. And now, finally, the Banelings. Baneling speed just started, though, so these are just going to be stock Banelings here. Making things a little difficult. Medevac heading out, spots the Banes. Creating an even more awkward scenario here. Gonna drop out on top, but still pretty efficient. I believe there's a Hellbat, yeah. Meanwhile, huge siege tank line. Where are the reinforcements? GuMiho brought a bunch of the Marines back to defend against a handful of Zerglings. And, well, only losing 1 tank so far. GuMiho willing to take the long road when it comes to the siege push. Very patient with his tanks. Ultralisks. Kind of a... Well, another thing GuMiho is not a huge fan of is ghosts. Rarely do we see too many ghosts from him, preferring the very heavy mech late game. Targets down the Banelings. Zerglings not able to get around the minerals in time to deal with the Marines. So, this may very well force the ghosts out of GuMiho. Marines just slipping and sliding around. Trying to stutter step their way away while trading for Zerglings. It does look like neither player going to be able to land a critical blow before we max out, clearly here. And the tech progresses, especially for Dark. Ultralisk Cavern is completed. He's got chitinous plating on the way. The fully armored Ultralisks now slimmed down, but still packing a serious punch. And very important, combined with those infestors on the high ground, Fungal from the top. And locks down some of the Marines, but their siege tanks behind. Gets a medevac and a siege tank simultaneously. Another come on! Oh my god! Terrible, terrible damage dealt by the Banelings after the Fungal holds the Marines in place. The Banelings roll in and melt their faces off. I can't believe he fell for it twice. Dark once again, a Dark Wizard if you would, comes in with the spell cast and ruins GuMiho's attempt at a 2-2 timing. Oh my. Well, that was devastating. I don't know if he did he not notice that first Fungal from the high ground? Did he not expect another? Probably just wasn't thinking about it, but what you can't see definitely can and will kill you, especially when Dark is involved. Well, here come the Vipers. Blinding Cloud on one of the tanks. Gets a few more. Battle spread out through a couple screens here. Marines trying to find an opportunity. Oh, another blinding cloud, just slapping it on the Marines. Maybe Yanks are tanking more blinding clouds for the Ultramust to chop its way through. Yanks another, get over here. Another tank. Ultra Chitinous plating is not enough to save it, though. As that hero list charging through. Helps cut down the front line. How many tanks left over for GuMiho? 4 of them. He's lost 8 so far and 100 Marines. Wow. 200 Zerglings in trade. Still a bunch of medevacs on the field, as there is essentially 0 anti-air outside of Parasitic Bomb and Corrosive Bio. Both of which, you know, probably going to end up being pretty effective by the end of this, but... Burrow on the way for Doc. More Ultras as well. GuMiho scans his way in towards the main, trying to drag some attention away. Double Parasitic Bomb. It does not stack, but he makes sure of it there. Queen's getting chased down. GuMiho trying to throw it into a bit of chaos here. Try to keep Dark busy while he techs up. By techs up, he has not built a Ghost Academy. And by that I mean he's built a Ghost Academy, but he hasn't built any ghosts. I'm moving the goalposts. Pray I don't move them any further, or nobody will... well, okay. At the moment, I said 4 ghosts now in production, as GuMiho reluctantly, begrudgingly, kicking and screaming. Okay, maybe not that far. Possibly, I'll go with kicking. Now has decided ghosts are necessary. He's been brought to this. But... against the Ultras, against the Vipers, against the Infestors. Well, options are limited, and the Ghost is an answer to all 3. Dark has built, oh my, the Zergling drops. Mass Ling drops seems to be the choice. He's going to have Adrenal Glands. +3 melee, still pretty far off. But 2 can play at that game, says Doc. Not gonna let GuMiho be the only one dropping units in the main. GuMiho quite an entrenched position. Nidus on the way. High-sec auto-tracking. The Ling drops are headed for the main. That is a lot of high-sec auto-tracking out of the way. I didn't realize the turret ring here. Yeah, GuMiho's played Dark a time or a dozen before. This is one of his favorite late-game strategies, though not usually with Zerglings. Well, here come the Ghosts, looking for the snipes on the Vipers. Parasitic Bomb already landing. At the medevacs are spread out. Ultras trying to chew through on the low ground, but forced to turn tail, and the Ghost will line up the hits. Dark doesn't get in with, he doesn't get in with the Overlords. Tries to get in with the Nidus, but neither one is going to make it into GuMiho's main, as he has turtled up. And that shell is going to be tough to crack. Ghost looking for more shots. We'll settle for now. Oh, they'll inspect one of us in the wreckage, brother. I'm just... when I see that many bio units clumped up, I expect a Burrowed Infestor just to manifest itself, pop up, and fungal. Because that is how Dark do. But no Burrowed Infestors there. In fact, no Infestors at all. Building just the one at the moment. A surprisingly low amount for now. I'm sure that will change. More ghosts on the way. And when, on the other side of the coin, once there are enough ghosts on the field, you really kind of desperately need the Infestors. The Chain Fungal, or just something to interrupt the snipes with any sort of damage. Throw off that aim on the steady targeting, as it's technically called, and no one does. Because Snipe was the old ability back when you could do the Rapid Fire and Wings of Liberty. But, yeah, whatever. Fungal catches the medevac, but the ghosts are inside. But here comes Dark. Planetary Fortress in a great position. Baitlight's trying to crash through. Is it enough with the SCVs just kind of standing by? He's not repairing the planetary at all, but building armor is not even done. GuMiho. GuMiho with a stronghold. Pun somewhat intended, as... yeah, oh my god. 5,000, 1,000 lost for Dark to 1,500, 300. Wow, that almost could not have gone worse. GuMiho. Nuclear missile on the way now. Dark has expanded aggressively, but that... some of those hatcheries are going to get cut back down to size. GuMiho hasn't actually sent anything to the south yet. Where Dark is maintaining at 6 o'clock. Banelings crash in. Start of the fight doesn't go great for Gumi. There's not that many units here. Is there a lurker deck? Indeed there is. Any lurkers? None yet. Handful of hydras. There's already essentially every angle of counter. He's got the liberators on the way. Siege tanks. And plenty of ghosts. GuMiho's fully embraced the ghosts here. There's the burrowed infester. Ghost dramatically dies. Was looking for an... Oh, come on. Neural Parasite is not... Oh! Oh my god, he noticed. So technically, burrow-moving units have an animation. It's just so rarely spotted. Let's see if, Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you should look for the worm sign. Will be enough here. Oh, he pops up, hits a fungal. Doesn't have enough for another one. Liberator's looking for an opportunity. Parasitic Bomb lings underneath. Ultra's still chewing. EMPs land, though. And the infestors are forced to turn around. Not enough. Another fungal setup, just trying to chain them together, mostly interrupting the snipes at the moment. Another fungal covering the retreat. As Dark, not gonna be enough this time around. Gets a snipe on an infestor. Finds a hydra as well. 94 drones for Dark. There's still that nuke. I think GuMiho has been looking for an opportunity to line it up for a while. Dark maxed out yet again. Nuclear missile! Launch towards the center. Dark finds it immediately. Ghost on the low ground. Spotted here. Dark not going to be able to get it. Nuke lands. Those larvae very upset. Hatchery badly bruised to the north. Couple more command centers. Finally starting to grow that command center count is GuMiho. The ultimate late game, when you can start throwing away the SCVs and just wield a ridiculous amount of army supply. We got the Greater Spire, adaptive talents for Dark as he fills in the tech tree as well. I can't get over how prepared GuMiho was for the drops. Just mastered high-sec auto-tracking, all the fixins. Lurkers on the way. As Dark is reaching, I'd say that's Dark's, not his signature unit, but like an entree. He's got the special sauce of infestors and vipers, but the lurkers are the bread and butter here. Well, the ghost count, though, is already so damn high. Where are the infestors? He picks up and gets out. Most of the ghosts, a couple stuck behind. Down goes a tank as well. Still 11 ghosts. He's lost 11 so far. Nidus attempted, but a siege tank in position to deal with it. Another round. I keep expecting to see the infestors. I don't know where they are. There's 5 infestors on the field, just waiting back. 10 corruptors. Possibly for brood lords. Maybe just take out some of these medevacs. Looks like GuMiho is in a good enough position. Oh, fungal thrown out. Almost gets the hatchery. At this point, it's a bit of a liability. Some of the ghosts will cloak. Nidus lurker. He found a spot. You can't cover everything. And Dark slips through with some lurkers. And that will undercut the entire attack. And frontal cut many of the SCVs. 7 SCVs down. And the momentum is just entirely... GuMiho's attack is reset. Hatchery did go down. But GuMiho's going to have to start from the beginning when it comes to these attacks. 3 more factories on the way. I can't help but expect Blue Flame Hellions. We've already got some Thors in production. All these are a bit of a liability with infestors on the field, but there's already so many ghosts. Oh, but he abandoned the siege tanks, and the Zerglings may be cut down, but just like the Heart of the Swarm cinematic, well, the Zerg are going to be more than enough to overrun those siege tanks out on their own. Snipes on Banelings. The Lurkers slicing through the planetary, but Ghost lining up the shots will save the planetary at the last moment. Another Bioforce over to the bottom left. Takes out 1 or 2 hatches. 7 Broodlords on the way. And what is really shaping up to be a grueling game. Dark, no stranger to the supreme late game we can have in Zerg versus Terran. GuMiho also not... I definitely think Dark is more commonly in this position. But GuMiho is all about the tactics. He builds the right unit composition, especially now that he has the ghosts. 17 ghosts. And really whatever else he could fill in. Dark, though, seems to have... I'm not even sure where. The Nidus came through, but... I don't know where he took back this momentum, but now he's maxed out. The Nidus is being used. Oh, he pops an infestor out of the Nidus! And it had a fungal and interrupted the ghosts. A few more. The broodlings are raining down from the lords above. And GuMiho with a bit of a desperate counterattack as Dark works his way through the third. Ghosts and tanks are all that are left behind. Orbital falls. Yeah, quite a strong army from GuMiho. And he's strong-arming his way through. The Broodlords making their way back across. He can't send those through the Nidus. Dark is maxed out, but without much in the bank. GuMiho, his production has been slowed, but he does have a lot of money here. I think kind of regrouping, deciding what he actually wants. And Blue Flame Hellbats certainly could help him out. Alright, Doc. How many infestors? He's got over 100 Zerglings. Kind of an odd timing for you. GuMiho adds on the Fusion Core! Now, I fully expect that to be for advanced ballistics, but I'd be happy to be wrong. Though, I'm not sure battle cruisers... If anyone was going to make battlecruisers a late-game option, it might be Commander GuMiho himself, but almost certainly for the Advanced Ballistics Liberators, which in my opinion, you know, I can always get on board with rapid reignition thrusters for the medevacs. Honestly, for the passive medevac speed, I feel it is just such a great late-game option. So many people forget it exists. It's only 100-100. It takes barely any time to research. And it makes your medevacs, the uptime on the medevacs, just keeping up with your units. Alright, I'm not here to shill for rapid reignition thrusters. I'm not here for big medevac, okay? I'm just saying, it's a great upgrade. And if anyone was going to queue it up, it'd be GuMiho. 3 more factories. This is a Brood War level mech switch. In Brood War. For the uninitiated. Alright. The typical way of playing Terran versus Zerg, I don't know if it shifted lately. The meta hasn't changed since before Raynor was born, pretty much. But is to start with bio, Marines, medics, and then eventually graduate into siege tanks and vultures, as well as science vessels. Make up the bulk of the late game. Because at the end of the day, mech units are just stronger. They're not as mobile. They're not able to keep control of the situation early. But at the end of the day, the mech army is just harder to beat. And I think the same is pretty true in StarCraft too. As you start with the mobile, Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, Bio in general. And eventually you move your way into Thors and siege tanks and ghosts and liberators with hellbats, making up your kind of anti-swarm sort of units. And GuMiho kind of demonstrating that right now. The Broodlord count is so damn high, but not... It's a dozen. This is not the 30-plus Broodlords that just rain down, essentially block out the sun with their broodlings. Haven't seen too much of that lately, but if GuMiho goes too heavily into siege tanks or Hellbats, then even though Hellbats are quite good against broodlings, the sheer amount of broodlings raining down can overwhelm them. The game is starting to get quite... It's starting to go sideways, and by that I mean literally. As if you look at the mini-map, Dark is kind of taking the southern half, all but GuMiho's main. Though maybe GuMiho's main is on the agenda, as the Lings and Banes are knocking on the... Well, they're not knocking on the door, they're just rolling right through it. He pops a Nidus in the living room. That's definitely going to lower the property value. And GuMiho may very well have to evacuate his main base. Are there lurkers in there? I don't think Dark was... he burrows Banelings. And yeah, okay. In one of the weirdest turns of events, the Banelings escape. The Banelings broke through into the main, and the survivors escape via Nidus. Which, I mean, is definitely one of the things you can do. Dark, not wasteful. No reason to just throw those Banelings away. He knows this game is going to be going quite a bit. Oh, the Fungals land. Parasitic Bomb as well. EMP seems to have hit most of the spellcasters here, but the Spore Crawlers are doing a surprising amount. They finish off the Liberators. Ghosts line up a lot of snipes. Are there any more Fungals? 10 more Infestors in production. The Broodlords are doing a lot against the Ghosts. The Ghosts count down to 8. Most of them with the battle, if not all here. The Thor's being slowed by the Fungals. The Broodlord's trying to rain down. He has most of the map to kite back with. Another Fungal comes through. Liberators at the front. The Mech army is grinding its way forward. Another Fungal. Right on top of everything. Snipes lined up. Takes out another Broodlord. Queens trying to transfuse, but they're getting gunned down by the Liberators in turn. Almost out of snipes now is GuMiho. He has no more energy. The Thors are badly bruised. The Broodlords are trying to fight heads up, but they're getting their faces taken off by the high-impact Thors, which do so much damage. GuMiho will be the first to flinch, the first to retreat. But what a grueling battle. Wow, okay, we look at the battle report over the last 2.5 or so minutes, so this is not well, that battle actually lasted most of it. Dark kills 12 Ghosts, 7 Thors, a grand total of 9,100, 5,400. GuMiho kills 93, 43. So overall, Dark got the better end of that exchange. It did seem like GuMiho was a bit cost ineffective, just kind of moving his units forward into the Fungals and into the Broodlords. And look at how many bruised Broodlords there are. Like 3 or 4 of them already badly hurt here. Almost none of them at full HP. It easily, with a little bit of micro on either side, could have gone heavily in another direction. But overall, about even. But at the end of the day, GuMiho is going to build more Thors. But where are the Ghosts? Oh, this is a dangerous move. I can't believe he has Banelings on the ramp. It is not 20 minutes ago. Okay, this would have been good if Marines were still a thing that existed, but... Well... He's got 11 Thors and counting. At some point, how many Infestors on the field? 20! Okay, he's got an Infestor for every Thor. This is very relevant. There's 6 orbitals, which is not a huge number. The Hellions piling in. Oh my... I'm sorry. One more time. That was... why are you the way you are, Doc? Just this move. Alright. A lot of damage coming in. That... I can't handle it. Why is Dark like this? He's like, oh my. Oh, that's a lot. Pops out. Roach pops out the other side of the dice. Nidus is gonna die. Roach is gonna die. But that little moment of micro there. That little detail. That is a Terran army. That is heavy metal. On its way across right now. GuMiho. He's got some ghosts in the medevacs, dropping the EMPs potentially. The Hellbats are starting to grind their way through. He got the Nidus. I think he ends up killing both of the Spires. What does Dark have to deal with this? Dark is starting to really run out of minerals. GuMiho has 4,500 minerals in the bank. So quite a disparity on the minerals and gas in the bank here. Overall, oh wow. Dark has lost he's lost exactly 1,000 Zerglings. And 54,000 minerals. 15k more than GuMiho. Curious stronger. Oh, the Broodlords. And a medevac drop at this late hour. There's nothing that really deals with Marines very well. We're at that stage of the game where low-tech units become competent again. There's just nothing to really deal with them. Broodlords, Infestors, and Vipers. Still a major threat. But the tech tree, the hive... Oh, there's nothing left in those medevacs. Just enough Zerglings. 8 more Infestors. It's going to be 30 Infestors for Dark. There are 12 Thors for GuMiho. He's building a handful more ghosts. Hellions still being trickled across here. The Hellbats are hard to beat. +3 mech armor is on the way. Gonna be maxed up here. He's kiting with roaches. Oh my god. Not exactly what you want to be doing at this stage. Oh my. Broiling some of the Infestors. The Liberators, though, drops a ghost to EMP. And the Liberators, a Venn diagram of overwhelming freedom, is raining down. Liberators will eventually be brought low by fungals, by spores, but damage has been dealt. Dark being ground down. So far, GuMiho. Oh well, Dark still has so much. The ghost drop. Oh, if he loses that medevac, that's 3/4 of all of his ghosts. Is there still a nuke? No. He fired off the one nuke. The roaches are dealing with the Hellions, but here come more. It's like a tower defense game at this point. The Hellions just keep coming in like 10 every minute. GuMiho can afford it. He's the only one over 1,000 minerals of income. He's got 4k in the bank. He's been cost effective enough. Dark has not been able to take that game-winning fight. He hasn't gotten the neural pair. I don't think we've seen even a single neural. Dark's signature move is borrowing the Terran units and using them against them. And this game, he hasn't been able to pull it off. Down goes the Hive. The Hydra Den, the Roach Warren is next. Dark has to rebuild a lair, and he's rebuilding it at the 6 o'clock. A base that's already half gone, possibly from consuming with Vipers. I'm not sure how it got there. The SCVs, oh my god, they're repairing. Oh my. The unending volley of broodlings. There's 18 broodlords, 24 infestors. $14 Hellbats and a dozen Thors, adding some Vikings in, so almost essentially besides the ghosts. And technically, if you consider Hellbats, just completely carving the bio units out of the composition. Hellbat's just wandering around the map. Dark gonna use bait. Honestly, he can afford the gas. It's the minerals that he's struggling with. Hellbat's just wandering around. GuMiho has maintained his main base, whereas Dark has slowly but surely been baked out of his. There's nothing left but some creep tumors. The map is really starting to mine out now. 62,000 minerals gone for Dark. He's rebuilding an infestation pit and a spawning pool. Oh my. Liberation is at hand. How many Vipers? He's got the Vipers in there. The Vikings! Oh, it's dangerous. He's got to get the parasitic bombs, but if he loses the Vipers, he's down to one. Rebuilding a wombo combo, trying to get the chain fungal. The spore crawler. Adding up some damage as well. A bit of a tough fight. But overall, GuMiho definitely getting the better. Oh, it's been 4 minutes of fighting. 4 minutes without a lull in the action, even if it means like a single unit going down. 4 more Thors. 16 in total. The army supply at 168. Dark is settling in. At this point, I think Dark's intent is to not lose. And here's the thing. GuMiho does not have much gas. How much does he actually have less? We got to do the checking the... Okay, we got 2,000. Maybe 3,000. These gases have not been touched. There's still 5 something. Yeah, the GuMiho has plenty of gas still. Dark may not realize. And Dark has lost 1,200 more. And he's already mined through 6K more as well. So, it's a lot of numbers. But right now for Dark...
The numbers don't lie! And they spell disaster for you!
What am I watching? GuMiho splitting against mainlings. Well, here comes GuMiho. Once again, making his way down the ramp. Vikings. Oh, beautiful fungal. The last Viper. Oh, Viper goes down, but 3 more on the way, knowing how important that hive tech is. GuMiho pressing the issue. Neural Parasite, very done right now. The infestors will burrow just to make it try to make it a little easier to maneuver around. Liberator struggling. GuMiho knows he can't be too... Dark has turned games like this before. While it's been trending towards GuMiho for quite a bit, he's been cost-effective enough. The Thors are good enough. He has the Ghosts in the medevac, which is definitely something we don't see used enough, in my opinion. You cannot Neural Parasite a medevac with units in it, so that keeps the Ghosts from turning against all of this. But you can kill the medevac. You're very capable of killing the medevac. That is important to note. Oh, fungal on the Vikings gets a couple more bruises, extras, and the broodlings will trigger another set. Yeah, it barely scratches the paint on the Thors. But Dark is getting antsy here. He knows he's got to get something done soon. The Vikings maneuvering around. Oh, so many of them badly bruised. GuMiho. Are there enough? Neural Parasite gets the... Is that a Liberator? Yes, one of the Liberators. More fungals. And raining down broodlings. GuMiho losing so much. But the Thors are forcing the Broodlords back. The Viking count is still too high. A Ghost pops out of the medevac. Honestly, while he doesn't have that many Ghosts, the EMP vac seems to be doing barely enough. I don't know. GuMiho, what happened over here? Zerglings. Zerglings, how did he even get here? I guess he could have just run with it. Oh, anyways, Neural Parasite. Blasting his way through. Neural Parasite on the Thors and Dark. How? What? Run it back, Jimmy. Not again. Not like that. Not again. I'm sorry. Okay. I need to... The Zerglings come in. Thors are kind of wandering across the map here. Let's just go to the dark action camp. Alright. Okay, he sees all this. Landing the fungals. Another set of fungals. Viper's blinding cloud. A parasitic bomb. The broodlings raining down. And just staying right at the edge. Grabs him with a neural parasite. More neural parasite. More fungals on the back line. This entire time he's just staring at the fight. He's grinding his way through. That small Zergling counterattack. The EMPs try to... There's just so many infestors. The consumes just kind of... There's only so many buildings left to consume. He moved the infestors while the scans were waning. And Neural Parasite from the right... GuMiho did not notice him moving the infestors to the right. But I can't believe he's done it again. Oh my god. Dark. From the jaws of victory, a Neural Parasite reaches in and grabs it. The moment before, it feels like Dark just stole that one away. Ah. GuMiho. At the end of the day, the Dark festers. We'll take game one. Oh my god. Such a hard game to follow. I really thought I was winding up. You could probably hear it in my completely unbiased commentary. Like, I was winding up like, finally, Dark is ground down. He doesn't have the economy. He can't come back from this. And then he pulls out the Enrage. Well, I feel like this is just cliche at this point, but we've got... Yeah, GuMiho is doing one of the strategies that Terran players most love to try to change the equation. Alright, take your guesses. Press your like buttons. And witness in game 2 GuMiho's 3 racks proxy. Not even trying to hide the 3rd racks. Just straight up 3 racks proxy. Against Dark, who's doing a roach all-in. Okay. Well, Oh my. Does he see the... He sees the Overlord. He was looking for... Now he knows. There's already Zerglings out. Did he slip all the way by? He's going for the Marine. Oh my. Well, he's gonna see more on the way. Pulls back. Dark keeping the Marines busy. Here we go. I feel like I've seen GuMiho bunker rush Dark, or at least building bunkers against Dark, like 10 times in the last week. And, you know, honestly, that might be the number. As they've played in half a dozen different tournaments. But this is by far the most high stakes here at ESL Summer. Well, here we go. I'm gonna go for the Overlord on the high. But he just walked past. He's gonna protect the Overlord. Dark sees your bunkers. It just like those are just SCVs. He has no respect. No respect. Does not care. Just walks right out. Does not save the Overlord. So that is a bit painful, but I think he is very much in a position to break the bunkers. Well, yep. Dark just breaks out. That, now, it did no, this is not good for GuMiho. I was trying to spin this. The fact that Dark went for a Roach Warren on essentially one base, yeah, it means his economy isn't great, but this is shut down harder than a blue screen Windows 98 computer right now. And this strategy, this bunker rushing strategy is about as old. Well, double bunker back at home. So many bunkers. But the Roaches and the Ravager especially don't seem to care. The Ravager somehow lives a little while longer. You gotta target that. Okay. Now there's 3 bunkers. He salvages. No, not all of them. What are you doing? I mean, maybe. He salvages all 3 bunkers, which seems remarkably reckless. But, well, yeah. He's gonna go. This is 1 base medevac drop. He's gonna try here. As GuMiho is quickly running out of options. The Ravager Roach on the low ground. Dark has 2 solid bases. Oh my. He saw his hand before he played his cards. Oh, GuMiho, I think you've become a little bit too predictable for the final boss here. This is definitely not the first time GuMiho's tried the 2 racks like this. Or 3 racks, sorry. And Dark is completely calling him on it. But with concussive, and oh my, wow. Oh, Dark. GuMiho, check your phone. Dark has your number and he's calling you on it. I didn't. Oh. Wow. After that first grueling, arduous experience, Dark just comes over and spikes him. Well, an abrupt end to a dramatic series. 2-0 Dark. In typical Dark fashion. Another fun series. I love GuMiho's. I mean, it's become very common, the late game TVZ Mech. But GuMiho's still one of the best at it. Not good enough against Dark. You just need so many ghosts to deal with that infestor count. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. I had a lot of fun with it. Some a little different, though very similar. Okay, just stop talking. It's time to stop talking. It's time to start begging for likes. 1,055? 1,055 likes. And thank you guys again. Hope I made your day a little bit better. See you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Stay tuned.